We come and bring like rice and water and noodles for them. That was religion. They were like, yeah, we're gonna go visit this leprosy village. Leprosy village? Alright, I don't know, I had this pot in my head, walking with all these Ethiopians. I'm like, this is so cool. And we walk in and, you know, these people are all like deformed because they have leprosy. So like, their ear just fell off. Yeah, it was different. It was different. But for life, I don't know, it was such a great experience. Like, it was a really great experience. So now when I compete for jobs, I can talk about all these experiences that I've had, and then I can differentiate myself from everybody else in the world. Does that make sense? So when I think a lot of you are coming to the point in your life where you're writing your college application. Like, that's the next important thing. Some of you, maybe your next important thing is finding a girlfriend or boyfriend. I don't know. I have a daughter. Some of you know I have a daughter. She's 18. She just graduated from Seoul Arts High School. She does ballet. And then she got into Iwa last month. So she's going to go to school there. She's an idiot. She goes out and clubbing every night. It's just like, but she's an adult, so do whatever you want. But like, she differentiated herself by being my daughter, if that makes any sense. So she's the only person in the world with her name. So my name's Johnny Collins. So when my daughter was born, I called her Rachel. So Rachel, and then I gave her the middle name, Pada, the Korean middle name, and then Collins. So Rachel Pada Collins is her name. So I think most of you will know that Koreans are pretty racist. No, you don't know?
Of course you know.
Oh, you know, okay. Why'd you laugh then?
This is true.
Find it true.
Okay, so I took my daughter down to register her at Gangnam-gu office, and I got to her passport and registered Rachel Pada Collins. 안 돼. No. Why? Well, in Korea, you're only allowed 5 syllables. Because there's no foreigners that live in Korea. Korea is for Korean people. Well, Rachel Pada Collins. It's 8 syllables. So I can't register my daughter in a name. Man, this country's so racist. It's so annoying. So what works? What fits in 5 syllables? Well, because I'm American, well, her first name should go first. Pada Collins. So Pada Collins. That's my daughter's name in Korea. So when she went to elementary school, she went to Kyodae, down near Gangnam, right? She has her little name tag, Pada Collins, right? So the kids are like, Pada Collins? Like, 뭐야? Pada's a family name, right? Kim something, Lee, Chun, Pada, Collins. So, then she has to tell a story. Okay, my dad was adopted. His name's Collins also. We're American, so they put the first name first and the last name last. So now she's 18. She doesn't even tell her last name anymore. She's out at Octagon. Guys come up and say, oh, what's your name? And my name's like Lee Soo-min or whatever. What's your name? Pada. What's your family name? It's just Pada. Just Pada. That's what I just Pada. And they're like so like want to know her. So she's like, no, really, what's your last name? I'm not telling you. Pada. Because she doesn't want to tell the story, right? It's, oh my gosh, it's this long story. She doesn't feel like explaining. She's just tired of it. Like I'm tired of it. So, but because of I'm adopted, she's an adopted daughter of mine. Her name's different. She differentiates herself from everybody else. So I remember when we went to first grade, you know, the teacher saying the names, blah, 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 blah. Pada Collins. Right? And I don't speak Korean at all, but is there a word called inki? Inki, it means popular, you're inki. So the teacher was like, oh, inki something, I don't know. I was like, what, she has ink? I don't understand what you're saying. But he already knew you're going to be really popular because of your name. And then in first grade, she won some art competition. So, you know, school announcement, oh, Pada Collins, Pada Collins, Pada Collins, Pada Collins. So after like 3 months, everybody in her school knew her name, Pada Collins. And then she does ballet, so everybody knows Pada Collins in ballet. So anyway, she's a little known, only because of her name. Not that she's talented or anything like that. She's pretty because she looks like me, obviously, so stop laughing. So, but she differentiates herself, and I'm always trying to get her to differentiate herself. So, I think the most important thing that I want to talk about with you guys is differentiating yourself. So we did these commercials last year. So my friend Brant is the marketing director at Nike. So me and Mr. Heil had a chat, and you guys are so busy. Like literally everything that you do with video and stuff is really cool, super amazing. What girl are you talking about? Or are you talking about a boy? Or are you talking? You can't be talking about me. Like, obviously you're talking. Stop talking.
Sorry.
Thank you. So I had the marketing manager from or director from Nike critique the videos. I don't know if you guys got the critique, but I got the critique, and I had. I can't believe this. I went over this with Justin. He didn't tell you this?
No.
Such a loser. I got this, and I sent it to Mr. Heil, but I don't think he got it.
No.
So I wanted to go over the critique with you guys. It was really good. It was really good. So it might be interesting for you. So we're gonna start with that. But getting back to my main objective, I really want you guys to find a way to differentiate yourself. Does that make sense? So I know Eric because he's on the soccer team and he's a big loser. So Eric Lee, how many Eric Lees are there in the world? So many. And most of them are much smarter than he is, and better looking, and more talented, and they have all these like better things going for him than Eric. Eric's probably at the like, I don't know, 2 percentile, where everybody else is like super high. So Eric needs to differentiate himself somehow. Eric Lee, right? If Eric, like a lot of Asians, are going to apply to a UC school, or an Ivy League, or one of the southern schools that are really good, like a Duke or something like that, or an Emory, how does he differentiate himself? Holy cow, I've got 7 Eric Lees that applied, right? And I'm in admissions, right? All right, oh, he played sports, okay. Oh, GPA is over 3.6, over 1350 on his SATs. He's done some activities. They're all the same. They're all the same. So my wife went to Wellesley. So she did Wellesley undergrad. She got, then she went to Harvard for a master's, which didn't like it, and then she went to Columbia for her master's, and then she got her PhD at UCLA. So every year she interviews 2 or 3 girls that want to go to Wellesley. So the girls submit their application to Wellesley. Wellesley sends my wife an email saying, "Hey, would you mind interviewing this girl from SFS or Chadwick or SIS or something like that?" So my wife will have coffee and have an interview. And what she says, what she replies back to Wellesley is really important. And there's a lot of times where she has met Korean students, Korean American, Korean Canadian students that go to international schools here, and it's always, nothing creative. It's the same person. Like just cookie cutter answers, just memorized. Oh, I really want to be a big part of Wellesley, and women's empowerment is really good, and I'm really good. I play the cello, and I run cross country, and I would love to live in Boston. Like, what are you offering? What are you offering? So, for example, the lady that I had lunch with today, she went to Harvard. Her husband went to Harvard. So her husband is super ugly and fat. It's awful. He's vice president Kupang. So he's a really good job, and he lived in a very small town in Northern California, like this really crappy town in Northern. He got into Harvard not because of his grades, but Harvard's never accepted a student from that area before. That was the main reason he got in. She, because she's Korean descent, she's Korean blood, but she grew up in Dallas, she got waitlisted. He got in right away. Her grades were 1,000 times better. And you guys know that you've heard in stories about how Ivy Leagues have gotten really racist. No, we don't want any more Asians. There's too many Asians, right? Give us Hispanics. We'll take some Ethiopians now and then, maybe a Bosnian. But no, Asians, no. We're tired of Asians. We have too many Asians here. So if you want to go to those schools, you have to differentiate yourself. How will you do that? How are you going to differentiate yourself? So some of you might not feel like talking, but I'm going to ask you later how to differentiate yourself. So we're going to start, most of you haven't seen the videos. So Mark, you got all 4 videos? So Mr. Kyle. Why do you keep saying no? Why don't you say yes?
Yeah.
Yeah! That's a better attitude, Travis. track and field.
What? Oh, field.
So,
First name track.
hurry up!
Well, actually, let's go.
We'll start with your daughters.
So what we're gonna do is hold on 1 second. Let's try.
We'll start with your daughters.
So we're gonna watch the videos, and then you as a group are gonna critique them as well.